Hi, welcome to this channel on magnetic energy technology principles applications. This video is about the magnetic water pump. Yes, this is highly unconventional information. If you subscribe to the Einsteinian model of the universe, I apologize. But listen, for decades the government has been holding, and corporations have been secretly, privately holding on to information and models very similar to the ones to this model that I talk about on this channel. But yet the Einsteinian universe continues to go forward. Why is that? Think about the consequences of the Einsteinian model and how it contributes to the suppression of our society, the propagation of fossil fuel technology, of limitations in travel, limitations in space travel, all of these things. Oh my God, we're so bound by gravity, we're so bound by space. Oh my God, we can't get past the speed of light. All this bullshit, okay, that is propagated by the Einsteinian model that has, even though they, and we know they have it, we've given it to them, have the proof, including just simple units like this, that model is old, it's done, it's over. There have been so many very, very credible scientists that have debunked many parts of the Einsteinian model. And why does it continue to get put in textbooks? Why does it continue to be the thing of science in our world? I think you know why. Because it helps suppress everything that's happening. So, that, folks, is all about to change in a very short period of time, in the next few years, in this decade at least, hopefully. So the magnetic water pump is pretty cool, and thank you, Caleb Pierre, for creating this drawing and other drawings like it on the website. You're the man. I appreciate you so much. It's crazy. So this magnetic water pump creates a neutral magnetic vortex, and it requires one of the units, like the ROMAG or the celestial particle transmuter, that requires them to get that neutral magnetic current to it so that it can function. So at the center of the unit, right here, if I can do that, there's a magnet that is polarized so that half of it is north, half of it is south, and so all those wires that are wrapped around the wings, here's an actual rotor from this unit. And so you wrap wires like copper-coated steel wires are wrapped they're wrapped around these wings, and then they cross over that magnet, so they connect to the polarities of that magnet. So it's kind of like saying 3 of the wings are north and 3 of the wings are south. But see, we're not really interested in like the actual because it's steel wire, there is a propagation of magnetic field going through the wire from the magnet, and that's fine. I mean, that's acceptable. But what's more important than that is, as the neutral magnetic current hits these four boron carbide contacts, electrodes, as it's circuited through those, it has a polarity that it's attracted to right at the edge of the wing, because that's where the wire ends up with a copper contact right there. And so what happens is when the neutral magnetic current sees south, boom, it converts and it goes to south. Then when it hits north, it converts and goes to north. Now, because we have 4 of the boron carbide electrodes, there's only 4 of those, but there's 6 wings. At any given moment, there are 2 south pulses and 2 north pulses happening. And so, and because of the nature of this combination of alloys in this rotor, which is not a big deal. It's just like aluminum, magnesium, and some other stuff. Shoot, I forget. I'm sorry. It's on the website though. But this provides this whole paramagnetic and then a little bit of diamagnetic action, but it provides a temporary like polarity charge to each of the wings. And so they have a quick pulse and then they dissipate, which we have to have them dissipate, because when we have that north-south action happening, what we call north-south, which is really from this model, the magnetic etheric model of the universe, there's an inflow and outflow of energy taking place there. So there's an attraction forward. The wings of the pump are being moved by water initially, okay? And we get up to like that 1600 RPM speed, And so what it amounts to is we have like 640 alternating polarity pulses per second happening. So when you have that type of vortex with those type of pulses, you create this neutral magnetic vortex, and then at the center of it, of course, is that magnet spinning. But the key to this is we use the water as the conduit for the pulses. Does that make sense? So I mean, the whole thing is submerged in water, and it works very well. And so as the water is moving, the neutral magnetic pulses are forced to jump through the water to get to the wings. So the water takes on a tremendous charge. And so there's all kinds of principles involved in this unit, and one of them is we can change water, essentially. We can change the charge of water. We can, with neutral magnetic energy and then a vortex of energy, we can alter what's happening in that water. And for example, part of that is with a copper, this is a copper pipe, so we have a diamagnetic pipe, but then we have the water being altered so that it's not simply diamagnetic now to the water. The water has a connection to that pipe. And as that whole pipe becomes charged and as the water becomes charged in a vortex that is being strongly attracted upward to the ionosphere and then also drawing energy from the earth, the water moves up the copper pipe regardless of the length of the copper pipe. Now, so there's a couple very important principles here. This pump in this well configuration is designed to be very shallow. Like, let's just say it's like 50 feet, and in a lot of cases it won't even need to be that. It could be 10 feet deep. But the cool thing about it is because of the magnetic signal that it sends into the earth, the magnetic vortex into the earth and up to the ionosphere, it draws water into it from a very, very deep level, below our typical like water tables. So it can pull water up into the well from a very deep level as it continues to operate, and then it doesn't push the water up to the surface. The water is drawn up to the surface by attract. So here's I'm sorry about this to the Einsteinian lovers, but when we have a what we call a neutral magnetic vortex, and we have pulses like 640 alternating magnetic pulses per second in a magnetic vortex, in a water vortex, gravity is altered inside of this unit. Why is that? Because gravity is not simply a byproduct of mass. There's a lot more to gravity than that. It's a magnetic pulsing circuit, and when we have this type of vortex and those type of neutral magnetic pulses happening in it, we alter gravity in this pump, so it doesn't push, water is pulled up in this situation. So and you can use your imagination on what you can do with water that can be essentially attracted up a copper pipe, because what it does is it gives you free water, free elevated water, which then can be used to run a turbine or whatever you want to do. But I don't want to go down that road, because I'm trying to promote the magnetic world here and not creative ways to have free electricity. But so the magnetic water pump conditions water, and it makes it ideal for growing, ideal for drinking, ideal for feeding livestock, and it puts the water in this neutral magnetic state that makes it perfect for encoding. So like, there's a lot of technology out there today which is awesome and it's amazing. And what it does is it has encoded water, so it can be and this goes back to a lot of very good science, a lot of very strong science with a lot of evidence and a lot of hard evidence. So this isn't conventional, but there is a lot of evidence to back it up. So it's this idea that you can kind of tell water what to do, or put an intention in water, and this gets into a very metaphysical area, which is cool, because magnetic energy it's the transition right from science into metaphysics and back and forth. It's where they basically meet. So you can basically like encode the water to grow better crops, to bring health to people, to heal disease, to provide the optimal like water catalyst for livestock, for nutrition, for health, for counteracting like any type of bacteria or virus. So I mean, it's very powerful. When you have this type of unit, it allows you to condition that water and encode it with intention, with love, with gratitude, with all this energy that makes the water better for everything that it does, like everything that we use it for. And so it can help clean rivers, lakes, oceans, the whole thing. Just running the unit in a body of water, even if you're not pumping the water up, just running the unit will entrain the water and condition the water, and then you can add like all kinds of intention to it and everything. So there's so much that can be done with such a simple basic unit, but I just wanted to do this quick video to show just we're back into that alternating polarity thing. And so as we get fast rotation and alternating polarities, we enter into what we would call kind of that neutral zone, where we are tapping into a greater amount of energy than that is simply created by the magnet involved or by the electrodes involved. There's a greater amount of energy. There's an excess amount of energy. It's that etheric magnetic connection that is created from a pulsing magnetic vortex, and that influx of energy goes all the way up to the ionosphere, goes deep inside the earth, and it is a never-ending source of free energy. And so drop the stupid Einsteinian model. I'm sorry, but welcome the models that have been suppressed in top secret labs for decades. And it's time to release this beautiful technology that can transform our world and send us into the next golden age of civilization, bring people into a higher level of consciousness, and really support transition and enlightenment on this planet. And really, the water technology is really all you need to start doing that. And that transition is right at our doorstep. So with that, I will see you next time.